Hello and welcome to a 50-cent tour of Tuesday, June 18th, 2013. Please find a seat on the Liberty Bus and we will begin our tour of the day. Watch your cash. New bail-in rules will force failed bank losses on investors. Probably not a bad time to shop around and consider credit unions, consider various options for where you keep your money. Maybe you can find a nice savings and loan like the one in It's a Wonderful Life and participate in something good. The Truth as I See It, American Governance. This is a really interesting chart and website. It can help you understand where we stand with the U.S. government at this time, original and corporate. If you've ever heard people talk about this and not quite understood what they meant, this website is a great way for a great place to learn more about it. A republic having its beginning with the colonial resistance against England's tyrannical government, and what we have now, a corporation with a legislature, was established with all the apparatus of a distinct government created, incorporated by Presidential Legislative Act, February 21st, 1871. So this is very well documented, has a lot of information, and if you don't quite understand when people talk about we don't have a constitutional republic anymore, or if you know people who are trying to process that, this might be helpful. I want to look a little bit at some Edward Snowden information. Of course, he had his press conference via chat yesterday. Edward Snowden, truth is coming and it cannot be stopped. And most people are enthusiastic about this, excited about it. John Rappaport, on the other hand, is not convinced that he is who he seems to be. He believes that Edward Snowden is a CIA asset who is intentionally making the NSA look bad. And I just want to skip down to this. Why? Why would he do this? The U.S. NSA won't be tolerated as the pompous king of the hill any longer. It will have to play well with others. After all, globalism means the whole globe. And we're all in this together. We, meaning the elites, who want to track every move made by every person on Earth 24/7 in order to predict and control in the new paradise where the sun rises every day on compliance. And that's basically how John Rappaport sees this whole thing. I have not developed a real strong opinion about it. I was excited when the information first came out, but I place a lot of faith in John Rappaport's ability to distill these informations and this information in these situations and kind of pop the hood and see what's really going on. PRISM barely scratches the surface. 50 years of global surveillance. Well, that's not hard to believe. And it's definitely an issue that affects all of us. And if we really want to claim our own lives, having privacy is a large aspect of that. And I've mentioned encryption before, and Snowden said encryption is effective. Now, if he isn't what he appears to be, perhaps that's not so. But it's a little difficult to tell at this point. Supreme Court ruling you need ID to buy beer, but not to register to vote. I I saw this caught my eye. Of course, it's significant on its own. But I wanted to actually develop the idea a little bit of needing an ID to buy beer and how closely substances are controlled, and especially marijuana. And I had not mentioned this yet. Insane bill banning bongs and pipes passes Florida Senate 31-2. This is just, it's very difficult to understand why they would do this, why they would pass this. And I want to just look at it from the point of view of filling up the prisons. And even, needing an ID to buy beer. And, if kids try to get beer and they're underage, they can get into trouble for that. By the way, this is a felony. This is, I think you can get up to something like, if memory serves, you can get up to something like 3 years in prison. So this is some serious stuff. And the Alex Jones Show, Monday, June 17th, Max Keiser. It's a full show, but in the link that I put up, I have it stopped at this point, where Alex and Max Keiser begin to talk about corporate prisons, and basically the prison system at this time is the new form of slavery. Not new necessarily, but prisons are slavery. They pay you 25 cents an hour for your labor, and they're making a lot of money. And Max and Alex can explain it a lot better than I can, so I'll just leave it at that. More countries abandon GM seeds, crops in response to widespread public disapproval. So this is an interesting time, probably kind of a precarious time, because so many people are becoming aware of how we've been enslaved, and we need to join together and claim our liberty. I actually have this as part of the good news, along with that. The fact that the people are banning genetically modified seeds. Living in big cities is bad for your mental health and decision making. And there's a great quote here from Thomas Jefferson. But I actually want to skip down to this quote. An article in the Boston Globe presents powerful evidence that city life impairs people's judgment. The overwhelming amount of stimuli wears down people's filtering mechanism. It makes their brains tired. The result is that they perform worse on various aptitude tests. They are more aggressive, more impulsive, and, in short, have worse judgment. So, if you've ever gotten away for a beach vacation in a remote place, or even the mountains, any place that's remote and peaceful, once you unwind, which can take several days, if not, at least a week, once you unwind, the peace just becomes remarkable. If you can get away from your electronics and just let yourself just be in the kind of a natural state, it's a lot easier to think and create. Keep your immune system strong with Pau d'Arco. I think that's how you pronounce that. And it's an herb. Pau d'Arco is regularly found in South America and is often used as a medicinal herb designed to protect the body from harmful organisms. And just a helpful article about bolstering your immune system, which we all, I think, need help with virtually all the time. our bodies are kind of like our minds. What happens to our minds in the city, I think, is happening to our bodies with all the extra toxins that we have to deal with. And even if assuming that we eat healthy, we still have to deal with the toxins in the environment. And if we don't eat healthy, we're just going to be degrading, having our health degrade. So any natural means we can find to promote health, I'm for it. The Daily Tour is a presentation of She Who Will Walk in the Dark Productions, and we thank you for joining us for today's tour. The dawn is coming. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and insist on liberty.